HEALS Act stimulus negotiation, update number 2. All right, let's go, everyone. Hey, everyone, me, Kevin, here with your stimulus check and stimulus package update for late on July 28th. First and foremost, if you want an easy calculator to know how much of a stimulus check you should be receiving or you should expect, go to metkevin.com/check. This will redirect you to an easy-to-use calculator, metkevin.com/check. Remember, if you owe child support, or if you died prior to January 1st, 2020, or you're in prison for all of 2020, you will not qualify for the stimulus check. For child support, that would get redirected. Also, I did make a mistake yesterday. When I talked about the stimulus checks being held up in child support payments, I accidentally included the word father. I'm really sorry about that. That came through from my childhood, and it was not meant to target fathers versus mothers owing child support. All right, now on the current state of stimulus, I went ahead and I put together a really easy to follow flowchart. So it's very easy for us to understand the current state of stimulus, and we can update what the heck is going on in this negotiation because it is a mess. But this puts it together, and there's actually really good news in this. While I pull this up, some of you have been sending me messages on Instagram and commenting about this. A lot of you are wondering, hey, Kevin, do you have a coupon code for the YouTube course, the pre-sale? Yes, it's in the description. Use coupon code Larry. It's named after Larry Kudlow. You can get 35% off the pre-sale pricing on the YouTube course so you can learn how to make money from home with your phone or camera, and you get my 3 years of YouTube experience all just condensed into one easy to follow course that'll get you started. The price does go up on the 31st of July, and the course will be 100% available on August 10th. I really can't wait to see you there. It's gonna be an amazing program. In the meantime, let's look at this flowchart because I think it's really awesome. Maybe I think it's really awesome because I made it. Anyway, here's how to understand this. On the left side, right here, we've got Democrats. We know right now, based on the Republican bill, Democrats are pushing for state and local government funding, a $600 flat unemployment boost, and liability protections if and only if there are substantial worker protections. Take a look at this though. Look at the red lines. This is going to be very important. Red line for the Democrats is the $600 unemployment boost. However, they're negotiable on the amount of state and local government funding, and they're also negotiable on how the liability protections get implemented as long as there are proper worker protections. Now, in green, these are things that are so far confirmed. $105 billion for schools. We've got private schools getting about 10, 65 to 70 bill for public schools, and 25 to 30 for colleges. The $1,200 stimulus checks. Remember, go to metkevin.com/check to calculate that. Yes for VA, yes for SSI, yes for Social Security, yes for railroad retirement, no for ITIN, redirect for child support, no for prison, and no if you died prior to January 1st. So family members, right? PPP round 2 if your revenues are under 50% from the same period last year. Employee retention credit, really good for bosses. I mean, this is up to like $19,500 in free money for bosses. Work opportunity tax credit. If you're a boss and you can get somebody off unemployment, this is big money right here. Gig workers can get aid and still be a 1099 from like Airbnb or Uber or Lyft. So expect those companies to do something. Write-offs for self-employed businesses for PPE expenses, you know, like masks and face shields, sanitizer. We got those federal student loan changes. We've got 100% business deduction for meals, maybe entertainment as well. Then we have the right side, and take a look at this. On the right, we have liability protections is a red line. However, Democrats have liability protections as negotiable if they get those worker protections. So that red line is actually potentially solvable. Then we know that Republicans are at $200 for the unemployment boost and then 70% wage replacement in October. However, Republicans have already said that this is a starting point and that they are negotiable. So zoom out for a second and just look at this. It's actually not so terrible in my opinion, because when we zoom out, we see, wait a minute, the two red lines are Democrats are a red line for unemployment, but wait a minute, Republicans are negotiable on that. And liability protections, Republicans have a red line on that, but Democrats are negotiable on that if they get worker protections. This to me is actually starting to take form, even though it might not seem like it actually is. Now, currently, the things that are getting the axe, heroes funding, sad. This is all the sad face, right? Essential worker funding, the people who have been working throughout this pandemic, the post office, the payroll tax cut, the SALT tax deduction. These are things that are kind of getting the axe. Now, Donald Trump also somewhat implied that if the unemployment extension does not happen by the end of the month, that he might extend the $600 boost. I think that was a misunderstanding. I don't think that Trump actually meant that implication, though there was a lot of kind of clickbait circulating about that. Donald Trump has a way of kind of blowing off questions by saying, don't worry, we'll take care of it. And I think that kind of sent the signal to the reporter asking the question that Trump was somehow going to wave a wand and extend the $600 boost. It's possible. I just don't know that it's likely, because I think it would throw a wrench in negotiations and piss off a lot of people. I don't know. The Congressional Budget Office found that household spending stayed at pre-pandemic levels because of the $600 boost. More evidence that I think that $600 boost is actually going to get bumped up from the from the 200 Republicans introduced. On CNBC, Mitch McConnell says he's adamant that he doesn't want people getting paid more to stay home than to work, despite many industries still being closed with reduced work available. Mitch McConnell reiterated that liability protections were a deal breaker, as this is important for protecting doctors, nurses, teachers, and schooling. That liability protections would also include some kind of verbiage to limit damages. This limit on damages, I think, will be really interesting because it kind of puts a price on getting COVID. For example, here's $500,000 if a family member passed away, or here's $25,000 for pain and suffering if you got it and recovered. Those are just made up numbers. I'm just interested to see what numbers they would actually come up with for caps. All Mitch said is that liability protections are not negotiable. That's their red line. We know that, but we already addressed that in the chart. Meanwhile, at Trump press conference, he pretty much said that he wanted to stay out of the debate, and he kind of pointed the finger at Democrats and Republicans to figure this out. And I hate to say it, but I wish Donald Trump were more of a leader on taking charge and control of Congress. I think that's what Congress needs right now, is somebody in the middle just trying to pull everybody together. Maybe this is strategic. I don't know. I just think he has a very strong position in the public, and I think he could do stronger or better on this. Maybe, though, it's because he thinks that this current bill is sort of semi-irrelevant. Yeah, wait, that's literally what he said. The Washington Post said that Trump on Tuesday brushed off the new $1 trillion Senate bill as, quote, sort of semi-irrelevant. Now, in fairness to Trump, this is in the hands of Democrats and Republicans. So, I'm not trying to take sides, and the Washington Post is pretty left-leaning. But anyway, those were the things that were quoted. Furthermore, if the president took leadership, I think we would all have some more clarity. But really, right now, we're just trying to put the pieces together. Instead, right now, it seems like we have one big football game. You've got Democrats at the 30-yard line on the first down. Then they throw for the second down, and Mitch McConnell comes in for an interception, takes his bill to the 20-yard line on the other side until he gets tackled by Nancy Pelosi. Meanwhile, Mitch looks back at his team going, whoa, where's the team to protect me? And the entire team is having a buffet with Donald Trump at the bench. Larry Kudlow is telling stories about a V he saw in a dream. And Mitt Romney's talking about
wine and cheese, mad Ivy degrees.
All right, now come on. If this didn't make you want to sign up for the YouTube course, to hang out with me, get your life insurance in as little as 5 minutes, or get 2 free stocks with Webull when you deposit $100, I don't know what will. All of these links are in the description, by the way. Otherwise, Democrats have met with Mark Meadows, the White House chief of staff, and Democrats argued that Mitch McConnell seems like he's not even trying to negotiate, and that Democrats are demanding the $600 per week unemployment boost, and that this is a red line, like we've already incorporated into the chart above. Now, again, it seems like there's more common ground than the media is making it seem. Everybody seems to make this seem like it's much more divisive, though when I wrote this down on the chart, it actually doesn't seem like they're that terribly far apart. We'll see. In the meantime, make sure you get your YouTube course on pre-sale. Check those links and description items down below. If you doubt how much money YouTube might be able to pay you, check out a video that I made on how much YouTube paid me in May. I honestly, I still feel like deleting that video because it makes me fall off my chair just thinking it's out there. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you'll consider subscribing, and we'll see you next time.